Howdy my fellow wood and watters. I've taken the 13 horsepower engine off the Gasomatic's 9000 frame and I'm fixing to devise a way of putting the smaller engine on. Now, I made this frame up especially for a 13 horsepower engine, and it would be a shame to cut all those studs off there in order to make way for the smaller one. So what I'm thinking of doing, once I've taken this engine to bits and pieces, because you do need both, I figure on using some of this steel tubing here, that's 50 by 50, call it 2 inches by 2 inches, along with some of this bar stock to make up a subframe to adapt this little engine into the place where this big one was. Now, to help me along, I got me a couple of CD players here and some of my favourite music discs. If you haven't heard of this band before, you're going to love them. They have got some of the best heavy metal out there. You done got to listen to that. Anyway, to make sure I don't disturb anyone with my music, figure on wearing me some headphones. That way I get to enjoy my music and no one else has to hear it. There's the plan. Now, to my horror, when I read through the instruction book for this generator, I found that it makes absolutely no mention of wood gas, suggesting almost as if I should never use it for anything other than dinosaur squeezings. And I do wonder, if I take this to bits and pieces and try running it on treezel, will that void the warranty? Well, it'll be just my bad luck if that's the case. Anyway, I'm going to rip into this, gently of course, with all manner of tools, perhaps while listening to some of that music down there, and make this look a bit more like that. Alrighty then, so it begins. I see my donkeys have found something interesting. Here. Okay, I've taken the generator out of its case. Either that or this is the new transparent version of generators. No, it's not. Here are its internals, having been lovingly removed with the assistance of a few toolies here. Some folks would claim that I don't know how to swing a wrench. Well, what do you call this? That there proves them wrong, don't it? It's interesting to compare the sizes of the two generators here. This one's the 6 kilowatt unit that I've taken out, and here's the 2.6 kilowatt one that will be taking its place. There's a fair old difference in size to be seen here. This one here is quite heavy and requires care when lifting. This little fella here, yeah, super light. Yeah, I like it, definitely. So as you can see, it's laid out in the same sort of way, even though there are different manufacturers. The build is, well, there's hardly any difference between them, other than one being much lighter in construction. So I'm hoping that I won't have too much trouble adapting this little puppy to the gasifier frame. Here we are, after a couple of days of grinding, welding, swearing, dropping stuff on my toes, and feeding carrots out to my donkeys. We have us an adapter. So that takes up the 6 bolt holes that would have held the 13 horsepower engine in place. And this frame raises the new engine about 2 inches and supports it on 4 studs, much like it was in the frame that I took it out of. So once that's in place, we will have us the beginnings of new life here in the wattage cottage. Okie dokie, engine placement has more or less been completed. It's all bolted down to the main chassis. I put the original muffler back onto the engine for now, as eventually I'll put this on. I went to Sesame Street and got this muffle-uppercust and I'm going to chuck that back on here, so I'll occupy the space down here where it used to be, so I can feed the fuel dryer and also the automatic mixer for the fuel gas. But today is my testing day. I've made up this little attachment to go onto the carbohydrator where the air filter used to be. Got the coupling pipe there going to the mixer. So pretty much this engine should be ready to roll, and hopefully you'll be just as willing to get up and go as the one on the Charliek is. We'll see about that. Let's have a look at the hour meter here. Let's see, 1729.5 hours. That's how much runtime I've had on this gasifier frame with various engines. So I can more or less use that figure as a starting time, I guess, for this engine, and see how long it lasts on this. I expect at least 50 hours before I need to put a new one on. Wish me luck. I'm going to start up the gasifier now and take this through its startup process. Pull on the rope, after praying to the power gods of course, and hope putt-putts come out of the muffler and electricities come out of the electricity outlets, which I've moved up to here. They used to be down here, but it's up here now, just a bit more convenient. Alrighty, wish me good luckies. Alrighty, you ready to flare? Cool. They have us a flare, and I'm hoping this little engine is gonna like it. We'll see about that. The moment of truth is upon us. I'm going to try to start the Grunta-matic 9000 without accelerants or anything like that. Just like that one starts. We'll see how this works out, huh? Here we go. Set up the camera here. Point it more or less in the right direction. I think that's pointing at it. Right, here we go. That's a bit cool. Okay, she ain't going. What could be wrong? Oh, I know what it is. You got to switch it on. Now, I reckon it'll work. Here we go. Woohoo! Instant success. Pays when you switch it on, I suppose. Well, here we are. The new engine is running very loudly, I must say. I've got a yell over this, so that muffler will have to come off there and be replaced with my homemade one. Even if I zoom in, it doesn't make it any quieter. That's good. I've got electricity. Charlie can have a wee bit of a rest. And anyway, I'm low on charcoal. Perhaps when this is made some more, I can feed a Charliek on it. In the meantime, I have to fork out and face the expense of purchasing treezel, or at least manufacturing treezel. Not bad, eh? brand new engine running on tree dioxide. That's tremendous. Alrighty my fellow adepts, here's hoping you enjoyed this trip through memory lane. Ciao for now.
Several days later.
Okay, the final step has been added. I've taken the existing muffler off the engine and gone back to my fuel dryer system. It's a lot less noisy than the standard muffler that comes with these engines. Of course, when I was trying to fit it, I couldn't quite find the pop I needed. And then I remembered this. Once I zoomed the right way, the frame of the generator that this engine came from was kind enough to donate some of its pipe work to make the coupling pipe for the muffler. Let's have a sniff of the exhaust, eh? Smells like unicorn farts. Actually, the fact is I can't detect any odour at all on that. That's amazing. You know, considering all that burning that's going on, there's just no smell. Woodgas, it's the best addiction. Ciao for now, my fellow wooden gas and geese.